Whatever the vision of the senior pastor is and the vision of the church is, I think it's important that as a youth pastor you embrace that vision. Um, don't go try to create a different purpose statement, different vision, and different direction than where your senior pastor wants to go. Because that's, to me, where a lot of conflict comes. The church and the pastor have a vision one way, you as a youth pastor have a different one. If you can't get along with that vision, then maybe you need to pray about it and see where God wants you to be. But first off, I would say make sure you're embracing his vision, that you're supporting the pastor. A lot of times we want the pastor to support us, but we're not willing to support the pastor. So my thing would be support the pastor, be loyal, be faithful, and in return, most pastors will be the same in return. I am blessed with a great staff. I have an assistant who helps me in a lot of areas, but in youth is one of them. And then I have a youth intern who works far more than, he's been with me 4 or 5 years, far more than an intern. So I have a great staff that enables me to help the church in different areas and still be where my heart is with the heart of the young people. And so it is a balance, but it's also exciting because as an executive pastor, I get to be a part of some of the planning, some of the vision casting for the church. And as I'm doing that, with a heart for youth, it's incorporated. I mean, we're not only talking about, where the senior adults are going, but the youth are constantly having a voice in that discussion on our future of the church. I think it's really easy when you first get into youth ministry to want to be the hero, to want the kids to call on you, to be there, and you want to be there when you go to the hospital. I'll never forget one time showing up at a hospital for a young lady who had an incident with a horse, and it was one of our first big incidences, and where they called upon me to be there. And so I turned my car around. I was on interstate. I get to the hospital as soon as I can, and I walk into that hospital emergency room, and there's 3 families that had already beaten me there. And I remember thinking, man, that's my role. That's what I'm here for. And I remember I didn't appreciate what was taking place right there. Now, looking back 17, 18 years later, and I'm seeing that was the church. And that's who God wants us to be. As pastors, we should be delegating. We should be giving the power away and the authority to allow people to minister and to love, where that we don't have to be there all the time. And once I learned that, my whole ministry perspective and changed, and how God blessed our youth ministry changed. Because when we make it about us, we tend to take God out of the equation.